I was going through a very dark period in my life.
Achha.
Basically being trolled and getting threats for having spoken up against misogyny and whatnot.
Yes, fun times for all of us.
All of us. Much later that he told me, oh yeah, so it's kind of maybe loosely based on some people I know.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no wonder I was feeling all this energy in this house. Ki like koi dekh raha hai hum. People with wet feet for 18 hours a day.
Nee, your feet will become raisins.
My brain became a raisin at that point. Like.
We're in Los Angeles at IFFLA and I have caught hold of Parvathy Thiruvothu. Hi!
Hi!
Did I butcher your last name?
Not as bad as others do.
A little bit.
Just the two. I'm not two for anything.
I am so sorry.
Just the two. It's fine.
I have also tried to say the name of the film in Malayalam. Obviously the English title is Undercurrent.
Yes.
Please tell me how to say the name of this film in Malayalam, please.
Super easy. It's Ullozhukku.
Ullozhukku.
Ullozhukku. So the thing goes up. Ullozhukku. Ullozhukku. Now you can just replace the R with R.
Ullozhukku.
You got it. 5 more times and then you're fine. And the tongue is gonna like be the strongest. It's gonna be like Johnny Bravo tongue.
Try to speak Malayalam, I fail every time. It's Christo Tomy's debut feature. I watched his Netflix documentary, the Jolly Joseph.
Yes, Curry and Cyanide.
Oh, Curry and Cyanide is so good. It's so good. It's so good. Talk to me about working with him because he had approached you a couple of years ago for Undercurrent and you said no because you were scared. Why?
I feel like no one believes me when I say that. It's mostly because I was going through a very dark period in my life.
Achha.
Basically being trolled and getting threats for having spoken up against misogyny and whatnot.
Yes, fun times for all of us.
All of us. And then I think I was just going through that when this came and I was like, too much darkness in life.
Yeah.
I want some levity at work.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, like Christo was like, oh, maybe you didn't like the story. I was like, no, I really like it. It's just that it scared me how honest it was.
Yeah.
The women were written with such honesty. There was no forceful making them likable.
Yeah.
The choices aren't like calculated so that, oh, men will also understand why they're doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, ye thoda zyada refreshing ho raha hai. So maybe I'll say no, maybe I can't do justice to Anju and what her choices are.
So how did you get to a point where you felt like you could do it?
Christo persisted.
Really? For years, huh?
Yeah, I think he wasn't like calling like every month, but 2 years later and I'd completely forgotten about it and I thought maybe, you know, he must have made the film or gone to festivals or something like that. But then he called and said, I've rewritten a couple of areas in the screenplay, do you want to read it again?
Yeah.
And then he told me that MacGuffin was already a part of
That's right.
And that got me like thinking, oh wow, so did I like miss something about the project that Honey and Abhishek saw?
And excellent filmmakers unto themselves.
Right, so I was like, maybe I did miss something. And that's 2 years later, more darkness, COVID. And everything.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, maybe now I can actually understand Anju because I'm darker myself. Like, I'm that dark queen. Yeah. And then again, 2 years passed by. And that's when he told me Urvashi is going to be a part of it. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Now, how can you say no to that? Now you have Abhishek Chaubey, you have Urvashi ji, you have Arjun Radhakrishnan and Christo Tomy who's made this incredible documentary. How do you say no to something like that?
Shaina Jalal agreed to be the DOP and he's worked in Brahma Yugam. You must have watched Brahma Yugam,
For sure.
And then, of course, him and I have gone, like, we go a long way back.
Yeah.
We've done a small film in Tamil before this, so I was like, this is a solid team. And even if I fall flat on my face, they're going to be there for me.
Girl, you do not fall flat on your face. It's a wonderful performance. My favorite thing about this film, well, aside from you, the film is out in theatre, so we can talk about it a little bit, is how personal it is. It's very obviously personal to Christo.
Yes.
So much so that he has shot the film in his own home.
It's creepy though. I keep telling Christo, you look like this very pious Christian good boy, like, you know, it's just a pleasant face and like the undercurrents of Christo Tomy are like, it's very mysterious.
Yeah.
The fact that there is a photograph that Anju keeps going for and sort of like, she watches that, she looks at Thomas Kuti in that photo, who's my husband in this movie. And that kid is actually Christo, like in the photograph. He's placed himself there. I'm like, this is some different level of like making yourself also be a part of the story. I'm like, how do you deal with that you've lived there, you were brought up in that house. Now you have like a crew of 100, 150 people
in your home,
pumping water into the house, like destroying the place. And every day I would ask him, did something happen here? Like, is this about your... And then it's much later that he told me, oh yeah, so it's kind of maybe loosely based on some people I know.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no wonder I was feeling all this energy in this house. Ki like koi dekh raha hai hame.
So who is Anju in Christo's life?
I don't know yet. He's
not told you, huh?
So he'll just have this smile.
It's really incredible to see how the use of water and the sound of water in this film, right? Because even in the last shot, and I think we can maybe not, but there's water involved in the last shot as well, in a very sort of fluid fashion. But through the film also, every time, because the house is flooded for the most part, and every time you or Urvashiji's or anybody's character gets off their chair, their feet goes chhabak into the water. Was that unnerving to constantly be like wet feet?
It was unnerving. It was also causing a lot of physical damage, basically just like swollen feet for days on end. But also I think Urvashi and I used to talk, I was like, iski zarurat kya hai? Like, I mean, it's not even in the frame, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that it sings sound, and we probably should understand that as well. But because we're going through so much in our head and in our hearts, we were quick to snap. At least I was quick to snap on set. Because till about 9 a.m. I'm like this pleasant, happy person, and then I enter the house, I'm like, damn it, again. I mean, people with wet feet for 18 hours a day.
Nee, your feet will become raisins.
My brain became a raisin at that point. Like, this character was the most slippery person. And I say that because I feel like I'm a lot like her. In terms of feeling suffocated about, oh, this choice I've made has trapped me more. The walls are just closing in no matter what choice I make. And I feel that kind of scared me quite. And I thought I was ready, by the way, Suchi. I was not.
No,
the first day of shoot, I was like, oh, I'm not ready still.
It's so incredible to see Christo's vision for this character as well, and how he visualizes a female protagonist stuck in a situation that she has no control over, and then 5 different avenues are trying to play the blame game through the film. So I really hope more and more people are going to go and watch Undercurrent and see you and Christo.
I feel like
deliver a great
movies
show.
Like, you know, one of my favorite films is Rachel Getting Married.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that I felt when I was making the film and I read the screenplay. That's what I felt this movie is like. So
how lovely.
Deeper and deeper with each character, and the more you stay with it, the more you understand the sister, the more you understand Rachel, what has happened in the past. And it was like the best, like, it was like table tennis with Urvashi. Just to try to keep up was my main job.
My God, her face, you look at her face, and especially in one moment when you hold her hand, and I'm not going to tell people when that moment comes, and like her expressions go from one to the next in the span of like 4 seconds.
This is a lot of hand holding, if you notice. Like,
literal
it's
hand
actually a storytelling tool that Christo has used. The nature of the hand holding, or the pressure with which the hand is held or removed, everything has become like a plot point.
That's incredible.
And I didn't know that during the shoot. When I watched it, I was like, oh, this is what he was doing, because did understand a bit when he was filming it, frankly.
What has been the audience reaction at IFFLA to the film?
It's been actually quite surprising and overwhelming for me, because I felt like there would be a lot more discourse on women and choices they make, morality and things like that. And I'm pleasantly surprised none of that actually came up. People actually understood Leela and Anju and their choices, especially Anju, because Anju is supposed to be the bad girl, considering her initial choices and revelations that Leela finds out things about her. She should be like, oh, such a bad girl, like daughter-in-law did this, how could she? But nobody said that. A lot of people are like, I get that, I see why she did that. And I think that's a very hard one to get. I think Christo got that pat down.
I know, right? Through the film, I was like, Anju, run!
Shoot, I was that person. And I ran away. After 43 days of shoot, I was like, backpack kiya aur chali gayi.
Now you're packing your bags and heading back to India. What's coming up next?
Next is Tangalan. Tangalan is Paranjit's movie. We shot it last year, and this has been like a waiting game for even me. Like, we've been like, January we'll release, April we'll release, now it looks like it's August, so
most exciting filmmaker in the country, Paranjit. I cannot wait to watch this film and you in it. Thank you for chatting with me, Parvathy. Let's go get some coffee, okay?
Yes, please. Yes.
Chalo.
Thank you.